So, what if your web browser wasn't just a window to the internet, but was the operating system for the internet? For a little while, a browser named Arc promised exactly that, and it captured the imagination of tech lovers everywhere. Today, we're going to dive into the story of its crazy fast rise, all its cool ideas, and its very unexpected final chapter. And look, you really can't overstate the hype when it first came out. This quote from The Verge, it just nails the feeling perfectly. For a lot of people, Arc wasn't just another browser. It felt like a real evolution, a challenger that was actually thinking differently about something we'd all been using the same way for over a decade. And the people behind this huge project were from a startup called The Browser Company, founded by Josh Miller and Harsh Agarwal. And you have to understand, they weren't just trying to build a faster version of Chrome, not at all. They were trying to completely rethink our relationship with the web itself. So what was it that made Arc so different? Well, it all came from this one really powerful idea, treating the browser like an operating system for the web. You see, Arc's whole philosophy was that it should be more than just a passive window you look through. It was designed from the ground up to be an active workspace, a place that brought your apps, your work, your research, everything into one single command center. The first thing you'd notice, right away, was that it just looked different. It completely rejected that cluttered row of tabs at the top of the screen that we're all used to. Instead, Arc moved everything into this clean, powerful sidebar on the left. And that one design choice, that was the foundation for a whole new way of browsing. And this new sidebar wasn't just for show, it was a command center. It gave you these amazing organizational tools. You could create something called spaces, which were basically separate containers for different parts of your life, like one for work, one for a personal project. Each of those spaces could have its own profile, so your logins and cookies wouldn't get mixed up. And if you're a serious multitasker, Split View lets you put up to 4 tabs in the same window. It was just organization on a whole other level. But Arc's vision went way beyond just organizing your tabs. It was about giving you the power to actually reshape the web itself. It was all about making the internet yours. They did this with this incredible feature called Boosts. The best way to think about it is like a little toolkit for remodeling any website you visit. With just a few clicks, you could change a site's colors or its fonts, but here's the really magical part. You could use a tool called Zap to permanently delete entire sections you didn't want to see, like a distracting sidebar or some annoying ad banner. Gone forever. I mean, the level of control was so absolute that Engadget actually and memorably said it was like letting users vandalize websites. Now, of course, these changes were only visible to you, but it was still a radical statement, right? The web shouldn't just be something you consume, it should be a space you can actively shape to fit exactly what you need. So Arc was on a roll. It was winning over tons of users, generating amazing buzz for its design and its features. But just when it seemed like it was really hitting its stride, the whole story took a really sharp and very unexpected turn. Okay, so you gotta remember this was happening right as the whole AI thing was exploding across the tech industry. And in early 2024, we started to see the first signs of a change in direction. The browser company began rolling out these experimental AI features like instant links and a new mobile app called Arc Search that used AI to summarize web pages for you. The company's focus was clearly shifting. And man, this pivot happened fast. In October 2024, the Arc 2.0 redesign that everyone was waiting for got put on hold. Then, just 2 months later, the company announces a totally new AI-first browser called Dia. By May of 2025, it was official. Arc was being sunsetted. They were stopping development to go all in on this new thing. And the story culminates just a few months after that, with this number, $610 million. The browser company was acquired by the software giant Atlassian for $610 million in cash. So you see, this wasn't some failed experiment getting shut down, not at all. This was a massively valuable pivot. Atlassian wasn't buying the old browser. They were betting big on the team's new AI-focused future. And even though the browser itself was gone, the impression it made was just undeniable. It was praised everywhere for being full of big new ideas, though some reviewers did feel it still needed a bit more polish. And it wasn't perfect for everyone. Some users, for instance, really didn't like that you had to create an account just to use it. So this brings up the big question, right? If this incredible, innovative browser was ultimately just discontinued for a new project, what's its lasting legacy? I mean, what was it all for? Well, even though you can't go and download Arc today, its influence is still out there. It proved that people were hungry for new ideas in a space that had felt pretty stagnant for years. Its concepts, things like vertical tabs, organizing things into spaces, and user customization, those have inspired features in other browsers and really pushed the whole industry to think more creatively. And maybe that's Arc's most important legacy. It wasn't just a piece of software, it was a question. It was a question that forced all of us to rethink what we should expect from the most important app on our computers. And it leaves us with a challenge. If your browser could truly do anything, what would you want it to do? The search for that answer, well, it continues.